Tonight we're reviewing Big with Tom Hanks. Big. Let me read the plot for you guys. Tom Hanks received his first Best Oscar nomination in 1988 for his captivating performance in this hilarious, disarming, and timeless film for dreamers of all ages.
It's crazy to me that movies like this were always up for Oscars back in the day.
Why is that crazy?
Just like because
the plot is crazy.
Well, I mean, there's so
the plot is a bit ridiculous.
There's a bunch of like comedies like with bizarre stuff like this today.
Yeah.
None of them are award fodder.
Yeah,
just because I don't have Tom Hanks
Which I mean,
in it.
it's just and like because not this one isn't as crazy, but there's some crazy movies that are like nominated for an Oscar, and you're like, that's crazy.
the world has changed. I mean, at the time, 30 years ago, this was kind of revolutionary. 35 years ago.
Splash, I think, were what made Tom Hanks like Tom Hanks. Like that.
Oh, wow.
That was like what made him big.
He's really good. No pun intended. Yeah. But all right. All 12-year-old Josh Baskin is to be big. But when his wish is granted beyond his wildest dreams, Josh finds a new face in the mirror, his own at age 30.
Yeah.
Now aided only by his boisterous best friend, he'll have to keep the secret of his true age as he tries to fill his own oversized shoes. But as his innocent charms help him rise to the top of the adult world, Josh will face the biggest decision of his life: return to his own age or remain big forever.
Doesn't he only have one instance where he's not big enough to do something, and that makes him want to be big?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So
that's-
what's the main
carnival ride?
What's the main reason why he wants to
The
be
carnival
big?
ride.
Because he was not
was
allowed on a roller
he was
coaster.
I don't
embarrassed.
think that was it.
He was embarrassed that the girl he likes and the new dude could ride on the roller coaster and he couldn't.
I don't think it was the carnival ride. I think he wanted to be with that girl.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like that was the catalyst. He wasn't big enough to get on the ride, so that's why he said, "I want to be big."
Yeah.
Like he didn't say, "I want to be older."
So again, women just ruining men's lives.
Yeah.
That's what it all
But
comes
honestly,
down to.
she was being super nice to him. So
She was, but she was with another dude. That's why he wanted to be big.
If she says it's because he drives, like she's 14.
Yeah.
So a 16-year-old was like, "Oh yeah," and she's like, "Fuck yeah, dude! A 16-year-old with a car wants to hang out with me."
100%.
Yeah, so that's the basic premise of the story. He wants to be big, so he tells this machine Zoltar at the carnival, which is a magical machine.
That's very cool.
And and overnight he becomes from a 13-year-old to a 30-year-old. And he has to adapt and just like try and be an adult.
He just starts working at a job and just living life.
Well, yeah, okay,
Wait, remind me why he got the job. Because did he need it to
need it.
Well, he was hiding out in the city, and his friend was like, "You can get a job," and he goes, "I can't
Hell
get
out
a
of my
job," and he goes, "It's going to be the same thing as going to school," and they just start looking at the classifieds.
Yeah.
And because that's why I didn't remember the beginning scene where he's playing the computer game, but that is all the foreshadowing. That's why he gets the job he does, because he knows computers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So like,
yeah.
like in the classifieds, he goes, "What was that one? Computer. Look that one up."
Yeah.
Yep. And then
Well,
he gets the job.
Yeah.
Because he can't afford to live anywhere in New York. He can't go back home. So
Yeah, you're right.
And he said it's 6 months or something until they can find the machine.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
So
And
he has to
6
hang out
weeks.
for.
yeah.
Okay, but the first thing, Joe, I know that Joe had the same thought because of Letterboxd. But this is on a long list of movies from when we were younger where they just skim past the fact that a main plot point is an adult fucking a child.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
Well,
Blank check.
Well, he's a child internally.
right, but
Yeah.
when she finds out he's 13, it makes it seem like she's still into it,
Yeah,
and
she
like,
does.
she goes, "Keep my number, and in 20 years,
10 years. She says 10 years.
Well, no, he's 13 inside. I mean, on the outside, he's 30.
Well, yeah, but then when she finds out
Yeah.
that he's a little kid, she still like drives him home, and then there's like, keep my number and get a hold of me
I
in
did
10
catch
years.
that, yeah.
And it's a very
It's
bizarre.
not like
but and so
blatant
anyways,
pedophilia, but it's on the
Right.
surface level of like creepiness.
But there are other ones.
Which,
But-
by the way, hear me out here. The absolute nightmare she's going to have after seeing the man she had feelings for transform into
Yeah.
a child
Yeah.
in front of her.
Right.
Blank check, like there's a small part like that. Big 13 going on 30, where like she switches places with her mom.
Freaky
or
Friday.
whatever. Freaky Friday. Back to the Future, where his own mother is trying to fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's wild.
Never Been Kissed, where she is an adult acting like she's a teenager, and the teacher thinks she's a teenager and is trying to fuck her. And then Dream a Little Dream, where Corey Feldman swaps brains with like an old man. And it's just like,
There's a lot of them.
how many? Why?
And then Billy Madison kind of touches
Yeah,
on that.
But there's so many movies. Why were they like, that's okay, let's keep running with this theme?
I would have been okay with it if they didn't do like the weird sex scene,
Well, that's
which
what
was
I
like
was gonna say,
really
too.
weird.
Because You
was
said
on.
you
You
watched
He just
the
like
sex scene.
cups her boob, and there's like, okay, why
Is that
are you
By the way,
showing this?
Is that all there was?
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Because
sure. Yeah.
that's all that's in the theatrical release. But there's an extended scene. I don't know if it's on the DVD or what.
He's like
where-
going down on her. Like,
no,
whoa.
they never like have sex, but there's like a longer scene, I guess, that 100% like shows you like yes they did.
Yeah.
But then my mom
Wait.
was like, "Do they really?" And I go, literally the next scene is him getting off the elevator. He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that
And
was
I
funny
like,
though. That was funny.
100%.
The music hits.
And then he asks for black coffee
Yeah.
because he thinks he's an adult now.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, like. By the way,
Also,
why do so many sex scenes in movies like they're undressing slowly, like while standing and stuff, like in a perfectly lit room? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never that way. It's always like in bed and like they're
You tied her up, and she's
Exactly.
chloroformed.
all right, okay, let's get back to the beginning of the movie.
No, but also, yeah. So the thing that made him want to be an adult is the sex. Just immediately, I'm staying.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said. He goes, I have so many reasons to go home and only one to stay. And she goes, what? She goes, he's like, you.
Yeah.
But like, it is funny because if you pay attention to little things in the movie, when he's in his job interview, as soon as she walks
Yeah, he
in,
checks
he
out her
bends
butt.
over and looks at her butt.
Yeah.
And then again, like, goes
Yeah.
this way to look it down her shirt.
Yeah, right.
But okay, but so as soon as he turns into an adult, when Tom Hanks jumps out of his bed instead of the little boy,
See, stop.
why are his legs all scratched up?
Stop. Get
I
down.
Like,
Get down.
yeah, if you look, like, just one of his legs, it's like red and like almost bloody scratches. I was like, they wouldn't.
What scene?
As soon as he jumps off the bunk bed as an adult instead of
They
a little
look fine
kid,
to me.
his shin was like sliced up, and I was like,
I mean,
that
he's
is
a
bizarre.
wild kid.
But then I was
didn't
like,
see it.
his underwear just grew with him. How does that underwear still fit?
Yeah.
Like
I
they
mean,
could have just like if he jumped out of bed naked, like covered with a blanket or something, but like his little kid underwear fits,
Right.
And then nothing else does. It's like the weird She-Hulk thing.
Well,
like,
what is he? 14? 13?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Well, he's 12 because his birthday happens while he's an adult. His 13th birthday.
I mean, those might still be somewhat fittable.
But did you see how small the jeans were? Like they
Yeah,
wouldn't go
that's
past
true.
his knees.
That's true.
Imagine though.
But it was funny. I mean, it is very funny movie.
Yeah.
Imagine though that woman in real life, like that happens, and
Yeah, she's wrecked.
Well, then
no, I'm saying like even going home with him and like him
Yeah.
laying in a bunk bed with her underneath, like, all right, let's go to sleep now.
yeah, so many
Just a freak
things like
show.
are gonna fuck with her now.
Yeah.
But then when he takes off from his house and as an adult, that like plant stuck to his bike and trailing behind was so fucking
Yeah.
funny.
It looked funny, yeah.
And then just his mom just yelling police. Like she doesn't get the phone and call the police. Just screaming police, police.
When he goes in home.
Yeah, when she sees he's an adult and she's like, "What have you done with my son?" And she's just yelling police.
By the way, that could have went way worse.
oh yeah, she pulls out a knife immediately.
No, I'm saying like she could have actually like pulled out a gun and shot him, or
Yeah, she pulled out a knife and was
actually
chasing
him.
stabbed him. Yeah.
Yeah, she could have definitely stabbed him.
But by the way, no, let's go back to that the sex scene or whatever. Like, he's a way better kisser than I was when I first kissed.
That's what I thought too. But then it makes
was like-
when if you like watch it, it kind of shows like he's not really doing anything. He's just kind of moving his head, and
Yeah.
she's like going for it.
Yeah,
So like, I can understand that because at first I did. I was like, how does he know how to do any of this? And then it was like, if you watch, he's just kind of like, and she's doing everything.
most of the work.
I think in the end of the movie, she like indicated that he must have like busted early or something because she's like, "Oh, that makes sense." Then.
But I feel like that was the joke. But
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be all this like the bunk
Yeah.
bed makes
Yeah.
sense. Like all the
I took it the other way. I
yeah.
was
Like I mean, I think that was the joke.
Yeah, okay.
But then like you're supposed to be like, oh, like all that stuff
Yeah.
makes
It adds
sense
up
now.
now.
But like it's pretty damn funny.
yeah.
Plenty of good performances. Like Tom
Yeah.
Hanks is great. John Lovitz is great.
Robert Loggia.
Jared Rustin, the kid who played Billy, like the little kid,
was
is
good.
good.
The
Yeah.
kid rules. Yeah.
Elizabeth Perkins, at first I didn't care, but then like later on she's pretty funny. And,
She is good.
and then Mercedes Rule is the mom. She was good, like when she was chasing him around with a knife and shit. And then "You Look Terrible" is so funny to me because he's like when his friend believes him, he goes, "Oh, you are Josh. You look terrible."
Yeah.
and he looks like just a normal, like late 20s guy, like nothing wrong. He's like, "You look terrible."
Terrible. It's great.
And
There's some touching scenes too.
Yeah,
Like when he goes back and he's like, "I'm your best friend. What's more important than that?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
That is.
it was a
it is.
good, fun, funny portrayal of New York City.
yeah."
And
Like,
then
when they initially see that homeless dude crack me up.
yeah,
I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna kill her.
and then I don't know why I remember the pen clicking scene when he's getting his interview so vividly. Like
Yeah.
when I saw that, I was like, that. Literally, I saw the whole scene in my head. I don't know
The
why.
interviewer?
Yeah, and he says,
There's some funny dialogue and some funny ideas. Like when he gets his first paycheck, he's $181.
Yeah, $187. Like,
And John Lovitz is the man.
well, yeah, and then
I love it's just funny.
that part. So
Wait,
right before
remember-
the check, the John Lovitz is like,
Yeah.
he's like that late. He's used to say hello to her. She's yours. She will wrap her legs. He goes, I'll stay away from her then. And John Lovitz is disgusted. Like,
He's like
and
slinks
sits
back down.
He's so innocent.
And then that keyboard scene is like a classic
Yeah.
all-time
Iconic,
scene.
right?
But honestly, I wanted more of his opinions on toys to that boss because it was super funny to
Yeah.
me. Like when you like the hockey game, and then when he was just talking about toys, and the boss was like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
His boss loved
Yeah.
that. He knows about him though because he's just a kid.
Yep.
He knows. But I wonder how many times they had to do that piano scene before they got it right. Like it was so
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it was good.
It was so perfect.
I also love the eating the baby corn like normal.
Yeah,
It
that
kills me
was
every time.
good. He wraps it in a napkin.
Groundbreaking to me.
That was so funny.
Kitty Foreman being in it was cool. I didn't remember like the mom from that '70s show is his
Oh, yeah,
assistant. And then I said I want to know what his salary went up to after the $187.30.
Like $100,000.
Yeah.
Because immediately he just got a penthouse,
Man.
studio apartment, and then like
Let me say
arcade
this.
machines, all that stuff.
How is he a grown up for a week and he's way more successful than I am and I've been doing it for 18 years?
Well, that's why everybody else is freaking out around him because as soon as they in the Toy Story talks to his boss, he makes him like vice president of products.
Yeah.
because but like that's why everybody's like, what? Where did he come from? And they're like, she's like, he came from data processing. And the guy doesn't believe her.
The dude's like, he had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
He's like, Hasbro. It had to have been Hasbro.
Yeah.
I like that guy. He's like, I don't get it. I don't get
That's
it.
the dad from Home Alone.
Get rules.
And then yeah, I want to know what his salary was, and I said they're honestly living their best lives. Him and his little friend.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Just stay
but
an
none
adult
of
for-
that would work today. Because like the fake social security number
Yeah.
immediately would ruin the whole thing. But back then it would work.
I don't know if it would even back then.
Not at first it would.
Yeah.
Because like they wouldn't
take, like,
check
a
it right
week.
away. But then when they start cutting you checks, like
Yeah.
it would. But then yeah, the social security thing, the references, job experience stuff is so easy to track and check now. That he would have never even gotten the interview.
Yeah.
But like when they were trying to copy the other guys' application.
What's he putting? What's he say?
And
No,
then-
there's so many movies that wouldn't.
Yeah.
The circumstances are different now,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
But the limo scene is fun.
Mhm.
They lost me with the Pepsi. It should have been a Coke machine. But Pepsi was big in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then when she breaks up with her boyfriend, he's like the excuse she uses. She was like, "What's so special about him?" And she goes, "He's a grown up."
it's so like
That's gonna haunt him and her so bad.
It's so perfect, right?
And then
They should have like
but
winked at
then
the camera.
They do skip forward into like their relationship pretty quickly. Like they hang
Yeah.
out one night, and then he's just at dinner parties with her.
Right.
Yeah.
But then
They like live together.
I didn't remember that scene, like the algebra scene where he helps that kid with his homework. And honestly, I feel like that's one of the best scenes in the movie
It's a good one, yeah.
because like they're at the dinner table and the kid comes to his dad and asking for help with homework, and his dad is like, "I have people over, like get away." And Tom Hanks is like, because he's the same age as him, he
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, I think I know the answer. Like I know algebra."
Yeah.
And then it shows him in the room, and he's like breaking it down so easy, and the kid just understands algebra now because he gave him like the time to help him understand it.
I think they could have used that even more with him encountering his classmates,
Yeah.
actual classmates out of school.
Oh yeah, like if that
maybe
if that
the-
guy's son would have been
right,
his classmate.
or if there was like a school bully that he encountered. You know what I'm saying?
Beat the hell out of him.
right.
There was a crazy amount of product placement.
Yeah.
Like the Pepsi machine,
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, big time.
Yeah.
There's this like full display, like Pizza Hut box
right.
closed, and the camera just sitting on it for like
Right.
10 minutes.
You're right.
Which it doesn't happen as much today, unless you know what I mean. Like obviously, people now those companies will pay to be in the movie,
Yeah.
or the movie will have to pay the company, or they can't show the logo.
FAO Schwartz. I don't know if that's product placements, but that's a real place. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's a big toy store in a lot of movies.
I got a question though. Was this a trial run for Forrest Gump for Tom Hanks? Like him playing a developmentally disabled grown up?
Who's an extra smart kid?
Maybe that's why they used them for Forrest Gump.
He's like, all right, I went about 50% in this. I'm gonna go full.
You get an Oscar.
Just whacking her with like the rolled up magazine because she asked, "How do you feel about me?" was
Right, right.
hilarious. Like he doesn't answer, he just starts hitting her, and he's like, "What does that mean?" And then she loves it. She's just like, "That's a great answer." And then
You silly goose, basically.
and then his friend, the little boy, like when he gets mad at him, he's like, "I'm 3 months older than you are, asshole."
Yeah,
He did say that, yeah. That was funny though when he was kind of like telling her that he's a kid.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
She's like, aren't we all?
yeah, he said, I'm something about like not ready for this or something. And he's like, oh, afraid of commitment.
I honestly
That was
liked it
funny,
way
though.
more than I thought I would, like, rewatching
No,
it.
it is a funny
I
movie,
probably-
man.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
It is good. man.
Nostalgia brings back nostalgia.
then-
And it's just touching at
I
times.
said, everything is screaming she still wants to fuck this 13-year-old.
yeah, she's coming back every 10 years for sure.
And then
100%.
Or
the,
less.
The look away and then immediately transforming in front of her, like, is wild.
No, it was.
Like, there was no, like, because the first thing, like, he went to sleep and woke up. But this time, like, she literally looks down and looks up and it's just a
in
kid.
the street.
That's
like-
going to scar the
Yeah.
hell out of her. She's just going to live in her brain rent free
And
for
then I said,
literally
but
decades.
At least she got to see, like, him, how he really was.
Yeah, she banged that
But then
kid.
I said, but that scene shouldn't be as heartwarming as it is. Like, that's a woman who fucked this man, seeing him as a child, and you're like, oh, and
What
then
if
you're
he
like, wait a minute.
Transformed, and she's like, "Get back in the car. We gotta go."
She just, she starts like masturbating in the seat.
Get that hog over here.
Well, she's like, at least let me see if it's still the same.
Right. That was like the first thing he checked to when he grew up.
And then you just hear whoop whoop, and she's oh, I gotta get out of here.
That's that's the sequel.
Yeah, it could have been a completely different. Are you still big?
That's the sequel. She's
Okay.
behind bars.
All right, yeah, but good movie though, man. I mean, it aged well actually.
I
And
mean, most of it, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and you guys want to get to ratings?
Sure.
7.5, I gave it.
Give it a 7.
I give it an 8.
Okay, and watch this ASAP. Watch it whenever or skip it. What do you guys think?
I would say ASAP.
I mean, if you have Hulu, it's free. Watch
Yeah.
it ASAP.
I
Just
think
a
it's
fun movie.
considered a classic and one of
So if you,
Tom
if
Hanks.
you haven't seen it, watch it ASAP.
Tom Hanks is like feature roles. It's one of his main big roles.
Honestly, I think
No pun intended.
it's one of his best acting performances because a lot of stuff. I'm not saying he's bad, but I feel like a lot of stuff, it's almost the same character.
I don't know. I mean, he's great.
He's
in
great.
So much stuff.
Forrest
is.
Gump, he's so good in.
So many
Oh,
good
yeah, but
comedy.
He's so good in Forrest Gump.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of
Saving
the comedies,
Private
it's all, like,
Ryan.
almost the same
Saving
character.
Private Ryan.
They're good movies.
Yeah.
But I feel like this was really good.
Saving Private Ryan, he's great. He's great in a lot of stuff.
I also love the
there's
seizure he does in
exceptions.
the-
He's in like 800 movies.
He's
The seizure in the Toy Story is great. When the kid shoots him, he's just like
No, but
overselling it.
it is a really good movie, and I think if you're a movie fan, you'll just have fun with it. You know, it's just a good story, kind of just a wholesome story. Too.
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore.
Me neither. Screw you guys. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. That's our review of Big, and we'll catch you on the next one.